Welcome to Family Network on Disability's Mad Job Skills series. This series is for soft skills crucial for career success. Family Network on Disabilities is a family-driven, nonprofit 501c3. What makes F&D so unique is the majority of our board of directors, all of our management staff, and all of our program staff are parents or family members of people with disabilities. When family members call F&D, they not only receive the expertise and knowledge of a professional, but also the compassion and empathy of someone who has walked and continues to walk in their shoes. At Family Network on Disabilities, we do not act as attorneys, we don't represent families, and we don't give legal advice. We do provide support. F&D has been the statewide parent-to-parent since 1985, and the value of families getting support by networking with others is built into everything we do. We often get calls from parents or other family members who just need to talk, and we're there to listen. We also provide information. Altogether, F&D logs over 15,000 calls a year, most of them from parents, family members, or professionals who are looking for information. We have a large database of resources in Florida and a library filled with disability-related information. Regardless of the question, our staff will go the extra mile to find an answer. Additionally, we help you identify options. Our philosophy at F&D is that it's not our role to tell you as families what to do. It is our role, however, to inform families of what their options are and encourage them to make their own decisions about what's right for their family. And moving forward, what exactly are soft skills? Well, soft skills are traits, work habits, and attitudes that employees in all occupational fields must have in order to obtain, maintain, and grow within their career. Soft skills impact employment, education, and social situations. Soft skills help youth succeed in life, no matter what they are doing. By improving these skills, a youth can enhance his or her social life, do better in post-secondary studies, and be more successful at finding and maintaining employment. So let's think about your first job, or situations where you had to help your parents or other adults complete a job task. An example of your first job could be lawn mowing, babysitting, caring for a pet, garage sale, or lemonade stand. When thinking about this job, what were your responsibilities? What were the rules of the work environment? Behaviors or situations that were frowned upon? Did you ever get in trouble or lose your job? Take a piece of paper and jot down some of the universal rules of the workplace. These lists of universal rules should be a strong example of what soft skills might be. For instance, arriving on time, working as a team, being respectful of others, dressing appropriately for the job, etc. So why are these important? Well, it's what employers are looking for. It's what some employees lack. It will help keep you employed and will help you grow within your career. In the 1991 study by the Secretary of Labor's Commission on Achieving Necessary Skills and the EFF, they identified which type of skills were needed to succeed in the workplace. Much of the research conducted showed evidence of employees lacking soft skills. The report also finds that younger workers frequently lack these skills, which include professionalism or work ethic, oral and written communication, teamwork and collaboration skills, critical thinking or problem-solving skills. This is the EFF skills wheel. The 16 EFF content standards help you really clarify some types of soft skills and what they look like. We have lifelong learning skills, communication skills, decision-making skills, and interpersonal skills. And within those skills, there are different categories. And if you go to their website, You can click on each section of these wheels and get a specific example, like listening actively as a communication skill. That means that you attend to oral information, you clarify purpose for listening, and use listening strategies appropriate to that purpose. Moving forward, we'll start with communication skills as one area of soft skills. They consistently rank among the top skills employers look for in a new employee. This means you read with understanding, convey ideas in writing, speak and are understood, listen actively, observe critically, and compromise. Communication skills consistently rank among the top skills employers look for in a new employee. An example would be if you're given a written to-do list from your boss and one of the tasks requires research, you would be expected to be able to process the information and clearly express what you learned and how to complete in order to complete your boss's to-do list. Many jobs may require putting together a report if something happens out of the ordinary. Let's say you work at a store and see a customer stealing an item off a shelf. Your employer will want you to put a report together in writing on what you saw. And using the same scenario, when police come, they will most likely want to speak to you about what you saw. An example of listening actively would be participating in a conversation by listening to others and contributing to the conversation. So if the conversation is on your pets, you're not going to start talking about your favorite sports team. Being able to observe critically means being able to learn through observation. Observing critically can be things that you're being taught. When someone shows you how to do something, or in improving your soft skills. An example would be, let's say, you have a boss that's grumpy in the morning, and when other coworkers approach him in the morning to ask for a day off, he barks out, "No!" Through observing critically, you learn, maybe morning is not a good time to ask for the day off. So, questions to ask yourself if this is an area you need to work on is, do you need to work on your speech communication skills? Do people have difficulty understanding you when you speak? Can you remember what others are saying to you easily? Do you have ways to effectively communicate nonverbally? A student who often gets asked to repeat what they're saying is a good example of someone who may need assistance. Here's a scenario. Your boss calls you into her office to discuss she's noticed you haven't been remembering the details of job tasks she had asked you to do. She is concerned you may not be remembering everything she tells you. What is a strategy you can use to help you recall all the details for next time she assigns you a job task? A good strategy would be writing down what she's saying. What can your support network do? First, let's discuss what a support network is. That's anyone on your IEP transitioning team. This includes your family, your friends, and your mentors. So here are some things you could do at home. Practice and role play different scenarios of communication. Practice recording yourself giving directions or a speech. Was the recording understandable? What improvements can be made and what worked well? Practice using new vocabulary words with family and friends. Assist in programming job-related phrases into your child's communication devices. Another category is lifelong learning skills. What we mean by lifelong learning skills is being able to demonstrate personal responsibility, initiative, self-management, and perseverance. These are qualities of strong work ethic. If you're given multiple tasks, it's important for you to reflect and evaluate on what's needed for each task and consider each task's deadlines, then determine which task you will do first. An example of taking responsibility for learning would be, let's say you work at a clothing store at the mall, and one of your duties is folding clothes, and folding clothes is hard for you. Going home and practicing folding clothes would be a way of taking responsibility and making sure you keep your job. Some people may require assistive technology to help complete a task. Keep in mind your employer may not know what assistive technology is out there to help you out. In this instance, it would be best to talk to your job coach, parents, IEP team, and organizations like FAST to learn about AT options. When we say learn through research, what we're basically saying is ask for help. Ask your mentors such as teachers, job coach, and parents how they handle certain situations. So questions to ask yourself: do you like to learn new things? Do you have a hard time with self-motivation? And do you need reminders? A student who's always on the internet searching for questions to answers would be someone who likes to learn new things. Here's a scenario. Your teacher's noticed you're missing a homework assignment and allows you an extension to submit it if you can bring it to her the next day. You and your friends had a movie planned, and if you go, you won't have time to complete the assignment. What would you do? A lifelong learner in this situation would choose to cancel or reschedule with their friends and stay home to do the homework assignment. So what can you and your support network do to help you develop lifelong learning skills? Get involved in your community. Visit and volunteer at a local community event. Help your family plan trips, vacations, and outings. Start caring for your family pet or taking on new chores. Ask if you could job shadow people within your family and friend circle. And enroll in a mentor program. An example of a mentor program would be Big Brothers and Big Sisters, or a volunteer program such as AmeriCorps. A third category of soft skills is interpersonal skills. This is where we resolve conflict and negotiate, advocate and influence, work well with others, guide others, use teamwork, and practice self-control. Some people have ideas that are different than your own, and in some cases this doesn't mean that either of you are right or wrong. If you feel strongly about something, it is important to be able to advocate and influence in a respectful way. It is important to be able to work with others even if the people you work with you don't like or don't like you. It is important to put your personal differences aside and think about the overall goal, or what is expected of you by an employer. A classic example is two young adults working together in a classroom, and they're both college rival team fans. If their boss asks them to work together, for example, the Aggie fan or the Gator fan, to train the Longhorn fan or the FSU fan, do you think the boss is going to care if the other is a fan of your college ball rival? Teamwork is working with others. However, being a part of the team at times sometimes means doing tasks that you may not like for the team to meet the goal. We can't always control certain situations, unexpected changes in our environment, or people's emotions or choice of words. What we can control is the decisions we make and how we react to what's put in front of us. An example is a young man whose goal was to improve self-control. One day his teacher left, and the person in charge of the room left to help another client in the bathroom for a few minutes. During that time, a young lady whose goal was to not pick on others started to pick on this young man who's supposed to be practicing self-control. He asked her to stop once, then twice, and then the third time flung the table and started throwing things. They both got suspended. Questions to ask yourself if interpersonal skills are something you need to develop further. Do you have difficulty taking directions from others or following orders? Do you handle conflicts easily? Do you take care with your appearance and grooming? Do you have difficulty using manners or speaking to others in a nice way? A young adult who often has conflicts from authority figures would be a good example of someone that has difficulty taking orders. Here's a scenario. You're a cashier at a local grocery store, and you give a customer their change, and you did it exactly as the cash register stated, and you know that you gave them the change correctly. The customer starts yelling at you, demanding you gave the incorrect change. How would you react? Someone with good interpersonal skills most likely would go seek out their manager. This is a lose-lose situation. You know you gave the right change, and the customer thinks you didn't. They also are very angry. It's great to call on your manager to help you diffuse the situation, and they would know what the right thing to do at the time would be. So what can you and your support network do? Play games at home or start family projects where everyone needs to work as a team. Join a sports team, volunteer group, or club. Make a family effort to research, learn, and experience people of other cultures. Try new things. Set outside of your comfort zone. Practice negotiating ideas and boundaries. Negotiate ideas and boundaries at home by, for example, if you want a later curfew, work with your family on negotiating how you could stay out later, but maybe assist them with cooking or walking the dog the next day. Decision-making skills. This is the fourth category of soft skills. Thinking of possible roadblocks, planning, and developing solutions and backup plans. Some youth are used to a routine or having difficulty in dealing with situations when they do not go as planned. Some find themselves as a deer in the headlights, walking off the job, or reacting in an emotional meltdown by crying or anger. These issues can be solved through role play or discussing classic problems and unexpected situations that may arise on the job. Discuss how these situations can be handled and what would be the backup plan. In other words, have a plan A to Z. Also discuss and practice coping strategies when dealing with a difficult or stressful situation. So questions to ask yourself if you need to help build your decision-making skills. Do you have difficulty making choices and decisions? Do you enjoy having choices? Do you like problem solving? A good scenario is a student who has never ordered their own meal at a restaurant may have difficulty making decisions. Your parents ask you to choose what restaurant you'd like to eat on a Friday. I'd like you to think about that. Choose a restaurant and share with us what you would order there. If you're unsure to think of a restaurant and what you might possibly order there, decision-making skills may be difficult for you. What can your support network do to help build your decision-making skills? Identify and brainstorm. Your family can help identify a problem and brainstorm a solution. Promote personal growth. Take on more responsibility in decision-making at home. Be more involved. You can be more involved in your IEP process and class scheduling. Increase your independent living skills. Help pay for groceries at the checkout or order your meal at a restaurant within a budget. So who teaches soft skills? Schools may assume soft skills are being taught at home, and families often assume the school is teaching these skills for employment, making soft skills forgotten and not taught. It's a cycle. If you do not have soft skills listed as a goal in your IEP, you or your child's IEP, the school's most likely not to address them. So here's the cycle. You need help learning soft skills. Some schools may expect soft skills to be taught at home. Some families may assume the school's teaching them. You still need soft skills. The ideal situation is the following. If you do not have soft skills listed in your IEP, the school may not be addressing them. So let's list these soft skills within the school in the IEP. then the family and support network will still continue to work on soft skills at home. The result? You will learn soft skills. So let's think about some tips for the transition IEP. Identify your future career fields and soft skills related to the job. Create IEP goals related to the soft skills you'd like to improve. And get support. Get vocational rehab involved to assist you in identifying and building your skills. The following are links and resources related to this training that were used to develop this training, and that also can build your knowledge on how to better understand soft skills. Thank you very much for completing this training. If you still have questions, please feel free to contact us at 1-800-825-5736 or at www.fndusa.org.